I never thought much about fate until that night in Peoria. It was 2009, and I was there on a solo work trip, one of those overnight stays where the town barely left an impression, just another name on an itinerary. The meeting wrapped up around 6 p.m., and with nothing but a microwave dinner and cable reruns waiting in the hotel, I decided to kill some time. That's how I found myself at a thrift store on the edge of town, sifting through forgotten junk. I wasn't looking for anything in particular, but when I saw this old VCR for $10, I figured, why not? I had been toying with the idea of starting a VHS collection, something nostalgic, something real, a way to wind back the years, so why not start with the VCR? I took it back to the hotel and plugged it in, eager to see if it still worked. The moment I hit power, it made a strange whirring noise, like it was struggling with something inside. Curious, I peeked into the slot, and that's when I saw it. A crumpled piece of paper wedged deep within the machine. It took some digging, but I managed to fish it out. My fingers smoothed the creases, my eyes scanned the eerie, almost poetic words.
There are stars upon which our dreams are held, waiting in patient agony for the time to descend and birth upon us the rewards. The sun and moon pass with decades of horror. Lonely desperation wilts upon the faces of young men as the haunting pool of time turns them into bitter elders.
My breath hitched as I kept reading. It was a passage about a quiet April evening, about streetlights flickering over crumbling sidewalks, about a mountain's dark outline and the blinking red eye of a distant radio tower. A warning, or perhaps an invitation. The final lines sent a shiver through me.
To fall into a trap door, to look for the undiscovered, dare to find something that may not exist. Slump sorrowfully back through the door frame into the light of comfort within your home. This is the fate of the disposed and weary soul. I can only imagine a world within the mind of those lost in the wilderness.
Turning the paper over, my pulse quickened. An address. I should have thrown it away, I should have unplugged the VCR and gone to bed, but something in me, a mix of curiosity, something deeper, something I don't want to name, compelled me to go. The drive was pretty short. The house was easy to find. A sagging, forgotten structure on the outskirts of the city. Its windows dark, its siding curled from years of neglect. The front door creaked as I stepped inside, and the air was thick with dust and time. It looked like no one had lived there in decades. The furniture set in disarray, mold creeping up the walls like veins. Upstairs, I found the bedroom. On the floor, half buried in debris, I found a VHS tape, with another note beside it, barely legible in the dim light. It simply read, "I'm glad someone finally found her." My stomach turned to ice. I bolted. I don't remember driving back. I don't remember calling the police, but I must have. I only remember the way my hands shook when they arrived, the way my voice cracked when I told them about the tape. I never asked what was on it. I didn't want to know. And yet sometimes, in the dead quiet of night, I still wonder what exactly was on that tape.
What's your emergency? The situation.